What if you were never trained in womanhood? How would you live? You can't even think. Because right now, every bit of you is a trained bit. How do you know that a woman must have long hair? How do you know? That's how it is. 9 out of 10 do have long hair. And it has now, as I said, percolated right into the instincts. So it becomes instinctive for a little girl to have long hair. So much so that it appears that it's a part of her genetic code, that it's written somewhere in her genes that she must have long hair. Left to herself with no social intervention or occupation upon her mind, would she still prefer to have long hair? Maybe only as much as a boy would prefer to have long hair. Maybe she would. But then boys too would probably prefer to have long hair to an equal, more or less equal extent. But see how binary it has become. You can look at somebody's back and tell his or her gender. The hair. Not even the back is needed, just the bust from the behind. See, men are and women are different. Their biologies make them different. But what we have is a hyper-genderization. What we have is a hyper-sexualization. The differences are there, but little. Society has hyper-inflated those differences. The woman has been turned into a hyper-woman, and the man has been turned into a hyper-man. And you must know why. Because when the differences are great, then the attraction is also great. And that gives more carnal pleasure. If there is not much difference, then sexuality is natural, healthy, not overblown, not hyped up, not very spicy. But when you create a huge difference between man and woman, then you know the extent of titillation it offers. Now, for the man, the woman is a totally unknown thing. She's so different, as if she is from another galaxy. And for the woman, man too is a very, very different thing. She has no idea, being what she is, having been turned into what she has been. She just cannot know what the man thing is all about, because now the man is doing all the stuff that is outside the province of her idea. The result is great attraction, and that gives you hyper tantalization. Don't do that and let men and women be together. They would still be different, but not so different. Neither in their behavior nor in their looks, in nothing. I mean, can you really tell apart male and female rabbits from this lot? Look at them. Look at them. And tell me which one is a male and which one a female. Tell me. Is it possible? Had humans been allowed to live naturally, a similar situation would have been there. But if rabbits look this way, they'll be clearly able to tell the male, 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 the female, the female, the female. See, even the rabbits can see through our idea. Because they are biologically different. So the direction of their ambitions and this are a little different. But to turn woman into a homemaker, and to ensure that her first priorities are the baby and the related stuff, is to hack down a great part of her possibility. If 10 things are possible to her, 8 of them are hacked down. And the remaining 2, they are greatly magnified, as if she is made for only those 2 tasks. Those 2 tasks are also there as a part of her life possibilities, but not only those 2. Nobody can deny that women want babies more than men do. Of course, they do. But then that's not the only thing that they want. And no healthy woman is going to live only for the sake of breeding babies. But that's how our culture looks at women. Hmm? I'm exaggerating, but you get the drift, right? For a long, long time, there was no female participation in sports. As if women don't want to play. As if they won't like to play soccer. They won't like to run or play tennis or badminton. Huh? Or wrestling or swimming or whatever. Or trekking or mountaineering. Don't you see all that was a part of the idea of femininity? And don't think that mankind has become emancipated, that we have been liberated from the clutches of that idea. It is very much in action still. Maybe the more gross forms of the slavery have been defeated, but the subtler forms, they are still in action. Again, them. Look at them play. See how similar they are, males and females. Only a very, very sharp eye will be able to point out the females from the males. Because still, there would be some differences in behavior. But those differences are very minute, very subtle. Numerically, those differences would be 1%, 2%, 5%. 95% they are same. The female rabbit is not saying, let the family eat first and then I'll have the carrot. She's taking care of her interests. Give me the carrot or else I'll bite you. See? And off she runs away with the carrot. See? My carrot. My life. Man too feels extremely suffocated in the cage of the idea of manhood. He too is supposed to live a particular life that just clutches his neck and doesn't know what to do with it.